Aloha! This is your bratty squirrel, here with a quick disclaimer. The Squirrel Tangent podcast contains explicit content and parental discretion is advised. So no bitching if you get fucking offended by anything. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You never get tired of that turtle sound, do you?
Nope.
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
sexually deprived, so that's the most action I get every other week.
Hey, that is entirely by choice.
Ew, squirrel. No.
That's by choice. And dry desert action, but
Shall we not talk about the Sahara muff?
Oh, God. So it has been a week. And by the way, welcome to another episode of the Squirrel Tangent. My heart apparently on Saturday.
Lots of tangenting to do.
My heart apparently on Saturday decided it was going to dance to the beat of its own drum.
And started to do the African anteater dance.
Yeah.
And if you're old, and if you know what the African anteater dance is, you're old.
Can't buy me love.
Why you gotta say that? You weren't supposed to say it, bonehead.
I was just doing the theme song, but yeah, I guess that was the name of the movie too. But well, now it's on people's to watch list. But yeah, so for those of you that know me, then you probably already know the status updates. But on Saturday of this week,
this past Saturday,
this past Saturday, yeah,
the 26th,
the 26th, my heart started to
have a disco inferno.
Yeah, by the time I actually got into the hospital, I was hitting at 170 beats per minute. They got me on some drugs pretty quick, and that brought it down, but it didn't get it into rhythm. It
wouldn't stabilize.
Yeah, I was an AFib. And finally, what finally put it into place where it was supposed to be.
What finally put it in?
They put it in him. They put it in. But 3 days into it,
3 days into it, putting it in, put it in.
3 days into it, they basically they put me to sleep, shaved a couple of spots on my body, stuck a couple stickers on me, and did a computer reset on my heart.
Be more specific. They shaved the spot in the front area of his heart. They shaved an area of the back part of his heart.
Yeah.
They put the defib pads on him.
By the way, those are cold.
They put how would you, they put it on you before they knocked you out?
They put everything on me before they knocked me out.
And he wasn't it was general anesthesia, but I think they use this term called twilight where you're under, but it's very
right.
light.
I mean, from what I understand, I was only out for maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah. So, then they gave him the big shock.
Oh, no. First off, they shoved a tube down my throat with cameras, or not cameras, it was an ultrasound. So they took an ultrasound from inside my esophagus
down to his heart,
so that they can
to make sure
that there's no
that
blockage.
There were no blockages, that they didn't have to. If you had to do it the other way, they would. That's why I asked you if you got cut, because I didn't know that they could go from your throat to look at your heart. Because the other way is the angioplasty, which is where they cut you in right in your crotch area.
Ugh.
In your main, not the main vein.
I wouldn't be going to work tomorrow if that was the case.
Yeah, and they go up that way if they had to unblock.
Right.
Because it would have to go through
Well, because what they were doing is, I guess it was an echocardiogram, which is code for a sonogram of the heart. And
well, it was better than the stress test that they originally said, because
they were telling me stress tests, and I'm like, oh, damn it. And
because
no, that wouldn't have been fun.
My brother did the physical one. He was, able-bodied enough to do it. I couldn't, and they sprung it up on me like out of the blue. I was only supposed to go in there for like to just do another EKG or whatever, because that's the time I had a really bad cold.
Right.
And I was going to the doctor that day, and that it's called a vagus nerve that goes to your heart, and I'd coughed so hard that I paralyzed the nerve for like maybe millionth of a second.
Right.
But it was enough to make me So then, which triggered a panic attack, and I'm like thinking that I'm dying. But then I did that test and blah blah blah. But then they sprung up let's do a stress test. You're here. I don't have running shoes on. I don't have the proper shoes, period. And then they make you take your shirt. For a woman, they make you take your shirt and your bra off. I was like, can't I leave my bra on? And no, and then they put the gown has to be open in the front, so you feel like National Geographic running across the desert with your fucking titties flapping everywhere. And
oh god,
I was barefooted. I was like, this shit ain't gonna work.
Barefoot, titties flapping.
I had to then do the intravenous test, which is called a thallium test, and that straight up replicates a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
And what got them scared, I mean, that was painful. If I am having a heart attack, I will know what it feels like.
Right.
But because my blood pressure the way it was, and that had just happened
right
maybe a week before, so they did the test, they simulated the heart attack, up to the heart attack, and then what they put into the IV to counteract what they just put in you to bring down your heartbeat and all of that stuff wasn't working.
Ugh.
It didn't work. My blood pressure stayed like 250 over whatever's, and
Eek.
my heart rate was kind of like yours still, and they got scared.
But yeah.
So they put in some more, and they're like, you gotta relax. I said, it's not me, it's whatever the fuck you shot in me.
Right.
So everybody's just standing there trying to calm me down, like trying to make it go down there. Like, I laid there for about a good hour.
One of the nurses said, smell the roses, blow out the candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling you before. Breathe in your nose. Blow out your mouth. Mouth.
The one that bugs me, though, is the fact that all this stuff I'm doing to be healthier, because, we've all heard the tale of me finding out I'm diabetic, changing my diet, losing weight, and everything like that. all the stuff that I'm doing to stay healthier. And then this happens. Like, I go in and my heart is beating 170 beats per minute and my blood pressure is good.
His blood pressure was good. His your blood.
Blood. I have blood.
His blood sugar level was fine.
Yeah, my A1C.
And his A1C was 5.5.
Like, that's normal healthy. Like,
that's very good healthy. Fuck.
And then out of the blue, my heart's just like, yeah, no, fuck you.
Boogie fever. Get the boogie down.
And it couldn't keep a beat because that's what AFib
exactly.
is. It's like 1 second it's 170, 1 second it's 120, 1 second it's 90 something.
So it
then it shoots
basically
right back
sounded
up to
like
170.
Crappy doo-doo happy hardcore.
No, that just stays up at like 145. It just sounded like like that DJ that was at the Paris that night.
Oh God.
Yeah, no, I think we've talked about that in one of our really early episodes. When we're standing underneath that and the DJ just like bouncing all over the place, drop mixing unsuccessfully, and just sounded horrible, and to the point where somebody came up and was like, "Oh, you guys want to go up there?" And like, not with that DJ.
I guess it was one of their, security or
one of the promoters outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was handing out flyers. You guys want to go up there? And we both looked at him and we're like, not if that is not if that's DJing.
And he couldn't even blame us because it was just bad.
He looked at us and we're like, we used to DJ parties, and he goes, oh, okay, I don't blame you.
Because these promoters, they know good DJs, and I feel bad for them when they're out there trying to promote clubs that have shitty DJs. Like, can you imagine? You worked in retail. Could you imagine selling a product you didn't like?
I hate it. Well, the last product I sold was, I'm not peeing, I'm pouring water into a cup.
Which I totally forgot to grab beverage, so.
But that's when I was working at the beauty supply. So I liked selling those products. But when I worked in clothing retail, I hated every fucking piece of clothing that was in there. And I had to wear it every day. And now they were not size inclusive. So they're like, how come you didn't pick any of the dresses? I'm like, how come you don't make dresses for fat people? They're extra large. I was like, what third world country starving Marvin are you sizing this on?
At least you weren't trying to sell clothes at American Eagle Outfitters.
Well, not American Eagle. Fucking Hollister and Abercrombie and Fitch.
They're all owned by the same people. And they all run pretty much the exact same way. You walk into that overpowering cologne smell.
I can't even walk in that store because of the fucking smell.
Yeah.
It sets my sinuses on fire.
Now, I used to love walking into Pier 1 Imports because they had that wicker smell. And I love the smell of wicker. Because they have all the bamboo furniture. Like the big ass Papa-Sans and everything like that.
But you know, Pier 1 went out of business, right?
I know. I used to love going in there, but I never had the money to actually buy anything from there.
I bought a candle.
Ooh.
Yeah, I bought a candle. I think it was on sale.
And that must have been a precursor to what we are now. We are so bad with Bath and Body Works.
It's not we, it's me.
Hey. I was including myself.
I know you're trying to save me the blame, but I will take the blame.
We have an entire closet that is probably about half full of nothing but Bath and Body Works candles.
Especially when it came to the hand sanitizer apocalypse, I got banned from Bath and Body Works for 24 hours. Twice! Twice!
And like the soaps that we have in every sink in the house, all Bath and Body Works. We just replenished
the
bathroom sprays. Although their little bathroom sprays are fucking awesome.
They last a long time.
They do, but we're going to have to absolutely remember to buy that vampire one again next Halloween. And
hopefully they have it.
I really hope they do.
I've seen it two years in a row. So
crossing the fingers.
Yeah.
Because that one smells really good. Now I know some of the people at work are in complete agreement. Like one of the ladies in the office is like, "Oh yeah, Bath and Body Works," because she saw it on my hip, and she's like, "Oh yeah, check mine out." Yeah, because I go everywhere with it, everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I have sprays too. And the very rare moments of me going out, Greg has to stand there while I go on my disinfecting tangent with my spray, and I'm gonna spray everything and then spray my hands, and then when I touch the menu I gotta spray my hands again.
Yeah, that happens. But actually, when I was in the hospital, one of the nurses was we were discussing how sometimes people stink.
But yeah.
And
sometimes
I was trying to see, it's like, okay, can I go in and take a shower?
Were you asking them if you stink?
No, it's like, I'd like to not stink for you. And she's like, you're one of the few patients that cares. I was like, well, I'm in here and it is not my goal to be inconvenient for you. I want to not stink and be a pleasant patient for you.
A pleasant patient?
Pleasant patient. Yes. But
and I don't want to stink for you.
I don't want to stink for you. But so I actually asked if I could take a shower because I don't want to stink.
And because what did you tell me? It felt like your underwear could walk on its own?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a couple days in, and I'm like, okay, this is the same underwear I came in here in. But, and then and she's like, oh, it's not really that, you're not that bad. And I always have this. And she reached over, used the hand sanitizer on the wall, put some on her hands, and put it on her mask. I'm like, oh, you know that secret too. I use Bath and Body Works on mine, so it actually has another pleasant smell underneath when I'm dealing with my wheelchair people that sometimes don't have the most pleasant odor.
And when you have to bend down right by their pooper.
I'm right by their crotch when I'm trying to do the front. I'm like right next to their knees. So I've got like
Have you ever had a guy that had his boys hanging out yet?
Yes.
Oh, God.
And they don't do it on purpose, and I'm not blaming them, but...
These nuts in your eye!
But, yeah, when it's kind of exposed there, and you're like, oh, I didn't want to see that pair of boys, or I didn't want to see those beef flaps, and it's just bad. And I can't be mad at them, because...
Were they blue waffle-ish?
And the fact that there really is blue waffles...
I don't know how fucking that waffle company did not know that joke.
Somebody in marketing either absolutely knew what they were doing, or they are now fired.
Yeah.
Possibly both. But so yeah, no, the nurses know about that little secret of using the hand sanitizer in their masks.
Yeah.
And another one about being in a hospital. If you have a choice, don't let them put the IV in the crook of your elbow. First off, an IV is never comfortable. But being in the crook of your elbow means that if you bend your arm at all, the machine that has that thing attached to it is like, what was it? There's an occlusion in your line or line occlusion or something like that. Basically means you have a bend in the line, and yeah, beep 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 beep.
Yeah, I've had
beep.
that once. I don't know how that person got the IV right there, but they did. But
yeah,
it fucking hurts. I'm like, couldn't find anywhere else to put this fucking thing.
And you can't, this is 2 days after it's out, and my arm still feels like somebody just like kind of punched it a couple hundred times. But oh well. Fortunately, with all the blood draws. Fortunately, with all the blood draws, I only had one fuck it up.
You were a vampire blood bag.
I was. Like, every morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning, they'd come in and wake me up and take blood.
And I always tell you, try to rest, try to relax. How can you? You're in here every fucking 20 to 45 minutes messing with me.
Now, I only got it like every 4 hours, but it was still like they would come in, they would wake me up to do something, and then, of course, it would take me a while to go back to sleep, and then I'm always worried that they're going to come back in, and then
go back out, and then go back in, and then go back out. No,
and you
I
do
had
the hokey
that.
pokey, and you.
I had that shit happen to me. They tried to plunge my IV line because somebody coded on the floor that I was on. I was on because I had the major surgery, right. So I was on that floor. Somebody coded on the floor, and my nurse forgot my IV bag. So my IV bag ran dry, and she was plunging out the air. If she hadn't come when she did,
they have it now that it automatically turns off if there's air in the line.
Think how long ago this was.
Right.
So she's plunging out the air, and then tells me, I can't, I'm just taking out the air, but I can't get it to, it had shut down. My vein was like, fuck you.
Jesus.
Because I was asleep, and she was doing it while I was asleep. So if the air bubble had gone to my heart, I would have just died right in my sleep.
Jeez.
And I woke up, I felt this pain in my arm. I'm like, ow. And she got scared because she was trying to do it covertly. She's like, I'm sorry. And so the ass bag that had to come and put in another IV line, he was acting like a fucking asshole. I was like, dude, I didn't ask for this. I'm sorry if I disturbed your slumber or whatever the fuck you were doing.
Right.
This late, it was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus. Yeah. No, the one person that messed it up on my blood draw was they did the jab and dig or jab and wiggle.
Yeah, I don't do that. Once I feel them trying to find an angle to get in your vein, I'm like, get it out, take it out.
You've seen my veins. I'm not exactly a hard target.
That's why they don't understand why they can't get it, because they can see. They're like, I see it. It's sticking out. It's looking at me. I said, I've told you, I have rolling veins. As soon as the needle goes in, so does the air, and it goes, come and chase me. I said, you can't use the regular size needles. You've got to use a butterfly or a baby needle, because it's the smallest or flat to get in quick.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they're like, well, we can't use that for IV. I said, well, you better think of fucking something, because if you start hurting me and digging around, I'm going to kick you in your teeth.
Right.
I threaten. If I got to go to new people to get blood draws that are not used to, he's seen it one occasion when I've had to go to the emergency room. I told this guy, I said, my friend, if you don't get it on the first or second shot, You done. Get somebody else.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I've had one where she couldn't get it, and when she pulled it out, the catheter was still stuck in my hand, and blood started shooting out like, yay! Psst, with my heartbeat, no less. I'm like, all right.
Well, that means she got where she was supposed to go.
But she couldn't push it. She couldn't push it in. She wasn't patient enough to curve with the vein, and it was starting to fucking hurt.
Yeah.
I've had one right on top of my wrist.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that one felt magically fucking delicious.
Ooh. Yeah.
And then when they started looking at my feet, I said, if you I'll kick you in the neck.
The other thing that they do at this hospital, I don't know if they do this at other hospitals. I didn't notice until somebody pointed it out to me. And every couple of hours I would hear da-da-da-da.
Yeah, what you were telling me.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then it would go quiet, and somebody pointed out, it's like, oh, another baby born. And I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, every time we hear that noise, that means that there was a baby born in the hospital. And then I started like
counting them.
I'm like, damn, there's a lot of kids being born right now.
But hello, quarantine. Those are the quarantine children.
Yeah.
All quarantine babies because there was nowhere to go and nothing to do except bone.
You could say oof. We could just define it later.
All they could do was bone away.
Oh man.
Netflix and bone.
Oh, what's the other ones for that? Amazon,
Disney Plus and Thrust. Because you can't even say Netflix and chill because it's all somebody you were already in the house with.
Right. There's no such thing as Netflix and chill anymore. I mean, it's like you
can't even use that term without already knowing what it is.
Right. You might as well say, Netflix and moan or whatever. And yeah, no, I would be horrible at doing that. Although I did get you with the names of my characters on that game today.
Fuck. I come out and he's playing like the OG reboot of Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 6.
And the names he came up for these fucking characters. I was asleep. Usually I do all the names for his characters on all the games.
Which are not necessarily good either. They're bad.
Yeah. I have a character that I named I Fling Poo.
Death by Schnoo Schnoo.
Death by Schnoo Schnoo.
But I've got, what was it? I Need a Dick?
Yeah, I Need a Dick.
I Need a Dick. There was,
Wilma Dick Fit.
Yeah, no, that was King Wilma Dick Fit.
How can it be King with the first name Wilma?
Wilma.
Oh yeah,
Dick
Wilma Dick Fit.
And then there's lubrication.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was like, oh wow. and then we had Ron Chi.
Harry Cox. And she's sitting there watching me play this game. It's like, I can't even look. I can't.
Because, there's the little storyline or whatever. Harry Cox. What are you... I don't know, Anita Dick.
Oh.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And now, mind you, I am having to deal with this overload of perviness because Home Skillet over here had to mind his P's and Q's and not be pervy so that a nurse wouldn't say I've been sexually assaulted and sexual harassment.
Right. And
he had to be a good boy.
Yeah, at least I'm not like what your dad would be in the same situation. your dad would have had handfuls of ass and gotten in trouble all over the place.
No, he wouldn't touch them. He would just talk about it.
Oh, yeah. And he would be completely inappropriate at all the wrong times.
Especially when he had to have a female nurse take his catheter out.
Oh,
and all this pee was just flying over here. He's all, hey!
Luckily, I didn't have to have a catheter. Although for the until they finally let me off of all the different tubes and everything like that, I did have to pee into a weird jug thing.
That's the urine capture.
Yeah.
At least you guys can use that. Just put your wiener in and fucking pee. Females have to fucking readjust themselves on that metal bedpan.
Well, that's probably what would have happened if I'd had to shit. I managed to hold that off until I was able to go into the restroom on my own.
Yeah, they wouldn't want... Not your ass. Mm-mm. I would have to go find the nurses that braved that task.
Are you saying that would be a chore?
If it comes to that time of our lives, I will, if we're living in a house, I will take you outside, get a fucking hose, and shoot, and make you bend over and shoot you down.
By that time, if it gets to that point, then we will have a bidet. We'll have one of those really fancy toilet seats from Asia.
No, your luck, you would miss aim and it would fucking shoot and launch shit on the fucking wall in front of you. It would be the shit Lagio.
Oh, God. That's like that device that my dad sent me, the picture of the device that my dad sent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I forget what year it was, but apparently somebody actually holds a patent for a device made for delivering babies by centrifugal force.
So basically you just spin in a circle and then it's like placenta and blood art. And somebody got to be a good catcher.
No, they get a net between your legs. So all the fluids go splattering.
It's still spin art.
Spin art, yeah. And I was at first I was like, oh wow, that would be kind of nasty with the the blood and the amniotic fluid and everything like that. Then I remember most women actually shit while they are giving birth.
Not most, and not all.
When they do that push thing, it is not uncommon.
I only know of one woman who fucking shit on her kid.
Well, I don't know about shit on the kid, but they do kind of like try to scoot it out of the way before
I know of one, and that's it.
But, the blood, clear, viscous, brown.
That's only if they're moving real slow. If it's real fast, it's Technicolor action. Yeah.
Technicolor action. Oh, spin.
Can you imagine the aromas?
Oh, God. Amniotic spin art. Ew.
Placenta spin art.
Placenta spin art.
That would look like an alien stuck in the fucking wall. It would look like a face sucker.
Well, especially since it would have to go through the... Well,
net?
No, it wouldn't have to go through the net because this placenta comes out after the baby. So, if they're still spinning after the baby jumps out... and so if they're still spinning after the baby jumps out, then... Jumps out? Yep.
Whee! Fucking stupid. Like the baby, it's like, oh, we're spinning. Okay, one, yeah, okay. Now, no, wait, oh, woo! You dumbass.
Oh, God, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh.
When the baby jumps out.
Now I'm picturing it, too.
And how would they they come out head first?
No, I'm kind of picturing like the launch action, like they grab onto the outside and go, woo!
The fucking baby luge. Baby luge out of your crotch. Baby bobsled action out of your crotch. It's not the birth Olympics. What the hell?
Oh, God. Thank you, Dad.
You're sick. All he sent you was that thing. You have added many other facets to it. Now you've got the fucking womb bobsledding team.
We got placenta spin art. Oh, God. Oh, my jaw hurts from that laugh. Oh, man. Breathe.
Breathe. And, you know, our poor little Muppet, who is straight up daddy's girl. I
yes.
had to be with her. Well, just like when you had the other surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And you were in even longer for that one.
Yeah, well, it was a couple days longer.
You were in for 5 days for that one.
Yeah. At least this one, I was able to come home and function. I mean, I wasn't trying to, like, go immediately back to, let's go walking for an hour and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm trying to tell him, don't go back to, you can't go back to doing all the things, picking up things. And he's all, but I'm bored. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I said, if you've got to go in again, I will find somebody outside with some freaking cable jumpers for your car, and I'm going to stick them to his nipples and fucking stick the other part into the plug in the wall and zap his shit.
Yeah. Well, okay, so, you know, you would have to shave the rest of my chest before you did that one, though.
Oh, no.
Because I don't need the burned nipple hair.
Oh, why? It'll be such a beautiful aroma and reminder to never do that shit again.
But you have to live with that smell, too.
No. I'll just hose you down.
With what?
I'll find something.
You gonna like...
From the bathroom. From the kitchen. I'll put you right in front of the fucking kitchen sink. And use the little thing.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's been my
and then
week.
You have to remind me to take my medication. You are a grown ass adult
with a memory about a millimeter long.
I'll write it on your arm.
How many times?
I'll write it on your arm.
How many times have you had to tell me again how to make your shake?
Fuck.
And this is after me doing it day after day after day. So this is not new that I have a horrible memory for small detail. Once I think I've got your shake down, but you know, I've got your Subway order down.
Yeah, that's the only thing. He can't remember my phone number, but he knows what I order from Subway.
And Taco Bell. Yeah, well, probably because of the fact food. I really like food. That sounded
yeah, but now
dark.
when he changed his diet for the diabetes part, you know, he went to eating spinach salads and all these greens because of the potassium, and now he can't have a whole bunch of spinach and all these dark greens because they're also rich in vitamin K, which is a blood coagulant.
Which sucks. I'm like, really? So now I gotta eat this iceberg flavorless shit?
You can put maybe 3 leaves of spinach in it.
Oh.
Have one little tree of broccoli.
And I'm gonna have to switch to half calf on my coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's either switch to half calf or cut my coffee intake in half, which I don't like doing.
This is the biggest argument between the two of us right now. And I can't come at him like a fucking spider monkey because I'm afraid, oh my God! I'm going to have to start punching him in the... Wake up!
And you know...
Put my hair dryer on him and shoot water. Bzz.
I'm a person that...
Stubborn.
Under normal circumstances...
Who is stubborn?
Yes. But under normal circumstances...
Who doesn't like to listen?
Nope.
And likes to be told, I told you so. If you had just listened to me from the beginning.
But under normal circumstances, I'll go through 2 pots of coffee a day, on average. So.
And he makes fucking crude oil.
So I am going to be making weaker coffee and drinking it and going to the half-calf.
When I drink the coffee he makes, I have to make an Americano and put water in it.
Well, we have no more creamer. They fucked up our order.
Yeah, I was not, even if he had the inclination to go, which he was smart enough not to even propose that to me, to go grocery shopping today.
Right. Yeah, I was smart enough to know that, okay, at least for the next few days, I am not allowed to do my morning walk. I must take a break.
But he's going to go back to work tomorrow.
I have to go back to work. I can't afford to take more time off. So I'm going to take it as easy as possible. You know, I got to do what I got to do. Unfortunately, this is the way.
Okay, Mando. Good grief. And now, I told him the ironic thing. When we lived back in Hawaii, back home, I was the one who was always going into the emergency room.
Yeah.
I would end up in the emergency room at the very least once every 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it would be every 3 months. And we moved here. You've
been there once.
And walked in. I didn't have to call the ambulance. I walked in. They did jack shit for me, and gave me ibuprofen.
I got hit by a car. Sent in.
He got hit by a car. Had to go to the emergency room. Was barfing his guts out.
And hernia.
He had the hernia. The hernia. And that was only 2 years ago. We've only been living here for 6 years, 6.5 years, little after 6 years, something like that. We moved here
in 2015, so this is 2022. So 7 years. 7 years in November.
December.
November. We moved here November 15th.
November 11th.
Okay, well, at least you got the date
10th.
Right.
We left the night of the 10th and got here on the 11th.
Yeah. Something like that. I got the year right and the month right.
Yeah. But, what the hell was I saying? But, yeah. So, but it's only since we moved here.
Yeah.
Not when we were living at the other place.
Mm-hmm.
We moved here and he gets hit by a car, a big giant SUV
in broad daylight while we're wearing a reflective vest.
Now, how do you not see a fucking 6'1.5", almost 6'2" Yeti in a fucking safety reflector vest?
At the time, coming in at almost 270 pounds.
At that time, yeah. And the best part, that afterwards I thought I was fucking cracking up. I was like, okay, I get it. You wanted to let me know. You didn't want me to worry or anything. But homeboy called me while he was laying down on the fucking asphalt.
Video call.
Video call, no less. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing lying on the street? I just got hit by a car. What? I'm fine. I'll call you when I get to the hospital. I'm like...
and you know what was really kind of funny about that
And it
whole
was
situation?
actually literally a block away from home.
Yeah, it was a block away from home. And I had just gotten off the bus coming from work, going to the Walgreens right there on that corner.
From a safety meeting.
I got hit by an SUV right across the street from a bus stop while our bus was there. So one of our coworkers jumped out of her damn seat and came over. So I had a witness from work to verify. I really got hit by a fucking car. It's like, yeah, it happened.
But, Mr. Soft Heart over here, when he's not stubborn, you could have.
I could have.
Because you had bruises and you complain about your back even more now.
Yeah. Well, I did get money from that one.
You didn't tell me you got money from that one.
How do you think we paid off a big chunk of debt and paid off 2 phones?
You didn't tell me you got money from that one.
I told you exactly when
No,
we got
you
the money
didn't.
from that one. The
No, you
$8,000 I got
No,
awarded
you
that paid
didn't.
off the medical bills on that.
You hid money from me, mister.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
I
Yes,
never.
you did.
I never.
You fucker.
From that one. You got a bunch of shit from that.
I'm going to buzz your fucking chest into a man-o'-lantern.
You got a bunch of shit from that.
What?
This was like 3 years ago. I don't even remember. But I remember I
2.
paid off...
2.
No.
Oh, 3.
3. Yeah.
Lies.
Believe me, I told you.
Lies.
No.
Lies.
This happened the year before, or the summer before we started this podcast. But,
Not.
Yeah. And a few months before that, the one I should have actually gone after somebody for
Was
the one that we got
fucking-
accused, the one that I got accused of going after our neighbor for.
Mm-hmm.
Because that fucker comes up, barely gets a dent in his damn SUV, completely destroys the car that I'm driving after running a red light.
Runs around and looks at everything. Then when he knows that the ambulance is coming, jumps back into his truck.
Mm-hmm.
And starts going,
Goes to the hospital and there's somebody found his Facebook page and they found pictures of him at the gym the next day. I'm like, right. And then he sued our neighbors, and then the neighbors accused me of working or getting something out of that.
And filing some
lawsuit
kind of suit
against them.
Which she was jumping extremely hard up and down all over her house and was rattling the ceiling. Now our electrical stuff is all kind of cookie because she fucked shit up. And then then her mother comes downstairs to try and confront me and telling me, I know it's you guys' fault. I was like, you don't know nothing. You weren't even here.
Yeah.
You guys didn't even try to dispute.
Right. I mean, they completely could have disputed it. I mean, it was dead obvious that...
Yeah. They didn't even try to dispute. Then her daughter comes fucking running downstairs. I'm standing in my doorway, like right at the edge of my doorway. Leans, starts yelling and screaming and calling me all kinds of fucking names.
Mm-hmm.
With her children outside listening and looking over the railing at all of this. And now this fucking thunder cunt waffle.
Love the name.
At the time was maybe her late 20s. Mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Mid to late 20s. It's all up in my face, and I'm like, I was like, you don't want to do this. She's like, why? Why the fuck not? You guys are... I was like, you don't know me. You don't fucking know me either, you fucking fat bitch. I'm like, right away, go to the obvious. I'm
right.
like, I was like, excuse me. And I was like, you don't want to do this in front of your kids. You don't do this kind of shit in front of your kids. Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
No, and I find that one funny though, because like you said, right away went to the obvious. Why do people, when they think it's insulting, to use the easiest thing that people have been made fun of like their whole life?
Like, I could have been sarcastic and been like, what? I'm fat? Holy shit!
It always reminds me of that scene from Roxanne.
Yeah.
When he's like, big nose? Big nose? You've got this to work with, and all you can come up with is
I could have been like, oh my God, I'm fat? Holy shit, wait, I'll be right back. I gotta go look. Fucking stupid. So, at this point, she's leaning into my space, which is leaning into my doorway.
Mm-hmm.
If she had stepped 1 foot in, then that gave me every right to fucking hit her.
Yep. And now we're prepared for it. First off, we got a camera pointed right at our door. Second off, we've got
Let's just, don't say what it is. Let's just say we have some nice, creative toys for people who don't announce their visit.
Well, yeah. Of course, nothing that involves bangs. Well, not from a trigger.
Yeah. No. Just some very nice, interesting toys.
Of which I know how to use them, but they don't necessarily need to be known how to use in order to inflict enough damage for Brandy to protect herself.
Yeah. Now, the one that's hidden in the house, yeah, I'd be serving up some bitch sushi.
Yeah, no, and I kind of keep that one away from the. Although the temptation is, I do want to get like a display for that. But that would look nice.
We keep part of our blinds open so that Miss Prissy can look outside. I don't open the blinds because they're nosy as fuck and will literally walk down the stairs and look straight into our fucking house.
Dude, I would leave them open and just walk around buck fucking naked. Go ahead, look in.
Right.
Dick.
That's you. One time he comes home from work and he didn't close his blinds. He comes out, and when he comes out of the bathroom, it's like it's straight across from his room, and there's his window. Did not close the blinds. Comes out of his bathroom. He goes, "Oh, my window's open," while the bathroom light is still on, and he goes, "Look, it's my dick." I was like, "Fuck." I'm like, really? I was like, nobody wants to see that.
Oh.
Fresh out of the shower looking like a waterlogged turtle. With no shell.
Yeah, there's no shame in my game. I would absolutely, walk out here. Yeah, look at my dick. And it's not that I do that to somebody on purpose. It's just that, well, if you happen to be looking in my house, you deserve to see whatever the fuck you look into.
See, and now, talking about the creative toys, and we put the nest, I mean, the
camera.
The camera. The camera can pick up, just like how there have been times where the podcast can pick up them running around like fucking animals.
Right.
And I swear they walk like fucking elephants.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband has never came down to confront me or you.
And
he
he's
has
quiet.
Not said one fucking word.
Nope. He is never...
He's embarrassed of his wife.
Right. And he won't say it out loud to us now because he doesn't want her chance of hearing, so it would cause problems at home. But... And honestly, I think it's because he wants to be there for his kids.
If there were no kids, and she's a breeder.
Right.
If it wasn't for those kids.
I don't think he'd be here.
No.
But... And it's funny because, like, when he goes up and down the stairs, you don't hear him.
No, but you hear them because they purposely stomp.
Yeah, they go up as
because
loud
we
as
know
they can.
She can walk up the stairs very quietly because she's done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bad neighbors. So yeah, we're looking forward to.
And Greg's the type where he likes to talk to the neighbors and be friendly. And, I've lived... That comes from your military moving around.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, it's people... They love to gossip.
And
they love to talk shit.
See, now the military is no different.
I always just stay in my fucking house. I don't bother nobody. I don't talk to nobody unless they say hi or good morning. How are you? The basic.
Right.
Basic.
The military is no
chit-chat.
different on that, though. I mean, they still do the drama and everything like that. It's just that when you...
Oh, you have dependopotamuses.
Well, you do. But when you have people that like you've lived in in Hawaii for a long time.
I'm talking about the children that have to go from school to school. You're used to oh hi, I'm
so and so. Yeah, you just have to get to know people quickly because otherwise you just spend your entire childhood growing up knowing nobody. Like nobody at all.
Mm-hmm.
And even as a recluse, you still know people.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know people that you've known for 30 plus years. So, and that's something I never had a chance to do as a military dependent. So.
Yeah, I have a few friends.
And
from way back in high school. And I'm saying a few for a reason because those are the few that I actually like and give a shit about. Everybody else can take a fucking flying leap.
Oh yeah. I've seen the fake friends that was like, oh my god, it's been so long since we've seen you. How are you doing? What's going on in your life? And then about 30 seconds later, you're not going to know any of this information. So why are you asking?
You're not going to retain this. You'll lose all this information once you take a pee.
You'll get my phone number and then it's like, oh, I'll totally call you. We'll go hang out.
Oh, and I love the ones that call me sis. Oh, don't. My sister.
Yeah. And really,
well,
that's not exactly a title you want in your family.
It's no joke.
But it's yeah. I was fortunate enough to have a semi-functional family. My parents were complete opposites, so there was some drama. But in the end, I came out pretty well adjusted thanks to my mom and dad and the things that they showed me. I just can't imagine. You know, I've seen your family at work. And like I'm like looking at it, jaw drops, like, you speak to your daughter that way, you repugnant little troll, you know.
And that's only his side.
Yeah.
Mom's side.
Well, yeah, and
the cousins, not bad at all.
Yeah. You've met my aunt, my uncle. Yeah. Well, my aunt passed away. You've met my dad.
Your cousin.
My cousin Bobby and Debbie.
Yeah.
You haven't met.
And then I met. I don't know if that's your other cousin, or an aunt. An auntie from your dad's side, the one that came into town and we went to go eat lunch?
That is my aunt by marriage.
Oh.
My aunt,
I have family come into town and not even call me.
You have family that's moved to town and hasn't called you.
And all because we share different views on politics and religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him, Squirrel.
Yeah. You tell him all about it, huh? But, yeah, that's...
And, you know, those are the two topics we barely even talk about on here.
Yeah.
But for family, it's... You know, for majority of the family I have up here, that's the, I wouldn't say breaking point, but the deciding factor if you should be involved or not.
Yeah. Well, you along with what, your cousin, the black sheep of the family?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that was getting a little too serious there at the end, so we've hit our hour. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to yet another episode of the Squirrel Tangent Podcast. I hope next time it doesn't have to come with an entire hospital story.
Right.
Please check us out
and
on
centrifugal force.
Baby ejection.
Baby bobsledding birth.
Please stream us on whatever streaming media source that you like. Tell your friends about us. Check us out on Facebook. And if you really like what you heard, please consider giving us a couple bucks on Patreon.com.
Take off your shirt and rub your nipples.
Patreon.com/The Squirrel Tangent. And if you want to take off your shirt and rub your nipples, I want pictures.
Bye-bye.
Video
Bye,
or it
Karen.
didn't happen.
Bye, Karen.
Aloha.